Yay, so it says we are live. Let me just double check, make sure we're live. Yes, we're live. Awesome. Cool.
Hey.
I always like to check on my phone because, sometimes it happens that it says you're live and then you're talking to yourself.
It's true. It is true.
So awesome. So thank you so much for doing this with me. Is it Marcia or Marcia? How do you
Marcia.
Marcia? Okay, awesome. So so I would love to, I guess, for you to introduce yourself a little bit, because in this group, basically, I know you're part of this group, and again, I love to just showcase different female entrepreneurs, because we can all learn so much from each other, and everybody's on a different journey, and you know what I mean. So like everybody can really collaborate, and sometimes we need help in different arenas that
Yeah.
sometimes we might not even know we do need help. And so it's always good to hear others and know, okay, well, this person has this to offer and stuff. You never know when you might need something. And I think I know that you're doing something very interesting from our little chat. And so I know that a lot of basically women, or even just families, are gonna basically benefit from that, because I think being, trying to become debt free is something that everybody aspires to, and sometimes we just don't know where to start. And especially like last year with all this chaos and so much uncertainty, I know there was, I think the last thing people are thinking of is, being debt free, but now it's sort of, everything is sort of coming together. So I'd love to hear, I guess, give us a little bit of background, I guess, on your journey, and how did you start, I guess, how did you get into that field?
All right. So hello to everyone. My name is Marcia Armstrong, and I am a confidence coach, and I help women on their debt-free journey. And this is based on what I would have been through personally. I would have had that in 2018, 2017. Sorry, I would have had that where
Mm-hmm.
that because of a change in my university, we would have had to pay off what is called tuition fees for the last year of my university degree.
Uh-huh.
And because it was not financially ready to undertake that additional cost, I had to go and get a student loan to cover the last year of my study.
Oh, wow.
And so what I would have done, I would have kind of like prayed about it a lot because I'm also a person who loves to give back as well. So I had prayed about giving to someone, being able to give more and not give from a place of lack, because I found that every time I give, it literally seemed that if it was just waiting on my next paycheck to be able to function again. And what I would have done through a prayer, I would have became debt free the year after. Now, becoming debt free 1 year after, and this would have been a loan that would have been due to be paid off in 4 years. I was able to
Wow.
clear a 4 year loan in 1 year. And
Wow.
that would have really and truly ideally happened because I would have gotten intentional about my debt. I would have literally came face to face with it, because I find that sometimes when you are in debt, you're afraid to look at the number. You're afraid to kind of face what is your reality, because you try to put it behind the scenes, put it under the rug. But what I would have done, because I knew within myself what I wanted to do, which was to give back to my community, I wanted to impact lives on the way I needed to. I had to get rid of what was stopping me from doing so. And in this scenario, it was debt. So I
Yeah.
had one prayer that gave me the solution to get out of debt, which means that all of my attitude had to change. The way
Yeah.
I looked at life had to change. I had to become more disciplined. I had to become more intentional with my spending. And there were a lot of sacrifices that I would have made that, at that particular time, my friends did not understand the journey. My family didn't understand the journey. And what it will tell you is that even when you go on a path of financial freedom, your language will not sound normal to people. Your language literally will change.
Yeah.
And it will sound foreign to the next person, because they're not in the same mindset or the vision that you have. But
Yeah.
I realized I wanted to become free. I didn't like how that made me feel. It made me feel like if I was being oppressed. It made me feel like if I was being limited. I didn't like the fact that every time I got paid, I had to take my money and give it to someone else.
Yeah.
And I just really actually wanted total freedom where I was able to buy what I want, when I want, however I wanted it.
Yeah.
So based on that, based on my love for being able to give back, based on my love for just seeing people's lives transform and to inspiring others, I knew that I wanted the role money played in my life to change. And I would have done that by learning a lot about financial literacy, by learning how money is really a tool and it is not necessarily your master.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I love that because you know what's so funny? Yesterday morning, I had the same conversation with a client. I was like, don't think of lack because when you think
Yes,
of lack, you attract lack, right? And our
yes,
mind is automatically going towards lack. And so I love what you said in the beginning that, that whole lack, mindset, you had to change that because it's so true. It's like, and same thing, like I had to do a lot of work on that myself too, because, we're always like, thinking, oh, lack, lack, lack. And then it's like, no, hold on, let me think in abundance. And then, like
yes,
you said, your mindset shifts. And no, I love your journey because it's so, so true. I mean, not only that, but also the whole thing of, like your friends and family, right? Your language changing. That's a big one because that is so true as an entrepreneur. Sometimes we it's not that we talk different, you're still talking the same. I'm sorry, my dog is barking like crazy, I don't know what, but I don't know if it's like so loud or not, but so it's not that we change our language so much, but I think it's just because we change.
yes,
And then our family's like, well, what's wrong with you? Or, well, why are you doing that? But you never did that before. Well, why are you doing it now? And then it's like, oh, but you changed. And, they don't understand. And it's a very lonely journey, I find sometimes. Because
yes,
until really, it's hard to, I guess, what you call it, it's hard to explain to people, well, I'm doing this and this and that. Once they see it, okay, then it makes sense. But it's just the whole journey is not, it's unexplainable. So I love, love, love what you were saying. So
yeah.
so you paid off your debt, right? And then so how did you decide, hey, you know what? Like I guess did you start coaching already at that time, or no, you decided you wanted to start at that time?
I would have started. I launched my coaching business in 2019. In July
Okay.
2019, I would have launched, but I would have started just having like one-on-one conversations around November 2019. But I would have
Mm-hmm.
officially launched because I registered my business in January 2020. So that was
Mm-hmm.
another thing that would have came about for me becoming financially responsible and
Yeah.
stewarding what I had, because I find that sometimes we think that if we throw more money at problems, the money will disappear. But that is
Yeah.
not the case. What I've learned is that if you steward what you have well, because I can live within my means, it means then that even if I get paid a particular amount, I don't have to spend the entire amount. I can allocate or direct my money to the avenues I want it to take.
Yeah.
So because I became responsible in my resources, and I always say this, that if you can be trusted with the little, then you are able to be trusted with much more.
With more.
And I registered my business in January 2020, and I would have launched my first program in July of that year,
Mm-hmm.
where I would have helped 8 women. At that particular time, I would have helped 8 women on their financial journey. And most of them would have become, some of them would have been able to pay off debt. Some others were able to budget, learn what budgeting was about, basically assigning a dollar to any category. You're basically assigning your money to a job, because your
Yeah.
money, you're an employee, you're supposed to give your money a job description and indicate, okay, this is how I want you to be able to maneuver in my life, and not that we get money and then we spend it as fast as we receive it.
Yeah.
So I was able to help women on their journey to really and truly look at the self in a holistic way. Because when I look at finances, I don't just look at it from just the financial perspective, but I want that when you are finished with the journey, that you also are whole in the way you think, in the way that you will do your actions and your behaviors. You actually, you kind of like, you're empowered to make
Yeah.
a difference. You are empowered in every aspect of your life. So my
Yeah.
debt-free journey, helping persons on their debt-free journey, I think is something that is needed, because when we were
Mm-hmm.
younger, we were never taught about, some of us were never
Yeah.
taught about money. We were told that money doesn't grow on trees. We were given limited beliefs about money from our
Yeah.
from our parents, from people we would have watched growing up, even in our adulthood. So sometimes we even fear failure, because if we fear failure, we fear success, because we tell ourselves, if I'm successful with money, I don't deserve this money I'm getting. Or if I want to charge a particular amount, I don't think I can charge it because I'm not deserving of it. So
Yeah.
our whole perception about money has to shift, because, as you mentioned before, when we look at abundance, we know that we are operating in a place of plenty. There is sufficient, there's enough, there's more than enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie,
Yeah.
right? So,
No, totally. Yeah.
yeah. So I want to show women that you can be confident, because even as women, even in our confidence journey, many times as a woman, I always tell a person that when you give a man money, a man might get money and be able to assist himself. But when you give a woman money, a woman impacts her family, a woman impacts her community, a woman impacts her nation. A woman actually multiplies the money that she's given because she's resourceful.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to empower women and give women the confidence that they need to be able to look at money, look at any challenge in the eye, and give it away.
No, no, that's so powerful, because it's so true, right? Because I think also, especially as women, right?
Yeah,
We sometimes, I mean, depends, I guess, on the, like you said, on the upbringing, or maybe that also depends on the woman and stuff like that. If maybe, they're more independent as they're growing up or not, or,
yeah,
but I think a lot of times as women, we take this whole thing, or especially, let's say once we get married, oh, well, my husband takes care of that stuff, or I don't know that stuff, like we also, I think, I don't know, if you find that as well, but sometimes, I think we impart also that lack of knowledge on ourselves, because we sort of
yeah,
like push ourselves away, like, oh, well, I don't handle that, or I don't know that stuff, right? And then, I was actually, I did a talk with a group of ladies, what was it, I think last month, and we were talking about that topic, especially when it comes to, for example, once there's a divorce or different things, because usually the ones that are suffering are the women, because now all of a sudden
yeah,
they don't know anything about finances, and all of a sudden you're thrown into this world where you have to like educate yourself, and it's like, well, and then a lot of times the women are the ones that suffer, let's say, when it comes to divorce and stuff like that, right? Because it's like, because like I'm assuming maybe it's just lack of knowledge, or different things, right? But so I love what you're doing, because it's really helping women, like you said. I mean, just budgeting, I mean, budgeting is something I personally, I don't like budgeting. It's like, like budgeting and then taxes. It's like, oh, for me, just, like putting all the little things together. It's just, it's, I dread it, but it's something that I learned that, what you have to do, because otherwise you just have no clue what is coming in, what is going out. And
yeah,
then this money just goes here and there. And so, I mean, just little things that sometimes, like budgeting, we think that it doesn't do anything, but it actually impacts your decisions, right?
it does. It does.
Yeah.
It
No,
definitely, it definitely does. But I
yeah.
believe that, I love the fact, I love when a woman supports another woman, and even if you are not, even as you mentioned, you might not necessarily like budgeting. I want us to get to a place that, we might not necessarily have to work or function in an area, but we still have understanding of it.
Yes.
Because if I have an understanding of something, it means that when I'm in front of the right person, I can ask the right questions. But if I don't have an understanding of a thing, if I don't have wisdom in the area, it means then that I would have lost the opportunity to really pose certain questions I might need asked, or I might
Exactly.
have needed to get an answer for. And I believe that your platform is such an important platform, because you're helping the woman, you're empowering the woman to be, to function as she should, and be able to. And I always say this as well. Sometimes the tables are not presented for us to have a seat, but in this season, at this time, I believe that we can create our own table. We
Yeah.
are confident enough, because everything we need to succeed in life, we already possess it.
Yeah.
Every single thing you need, you already possess it. It's about tapping into it. It's about getting the keys to unlock that part of you that is dormant. And I
Yeah.
believe that only when you're placed in the right environment, you're placed with the right people, that it helps you to unlock those things that are within you. But
Yeah.
everything that we need to function, we already have it.
No, totally. I so totally agree with you because just think about it. I always, that always, I always thought about that. And, you know how, when let's say women are pregnant, right? And then when you
Yeah,
have a baby, like you're sent home from the hospital with a baby, but nobody gives you a manual, right?
yes,
There's no manual, and it's like you have to figure everything out. And like you said, we are already equipped with everything that we need. We already have it. It's it's like you said, we women are resourceful. I mean, I see it in my house. I have, three men in my house. Well, two little ones and my husband, right? And it's always like, oh, I cannot find this. I'm like, well, did you look for it, right? Because it's like I always say, like, men have this thing where they don't look for stuff. It's like, it's in the cupboard, but they look past it, and then it's always like, well, I didn't see it, And it's like, and we women are just so
exactly.
much more resourceful and like you said,
That we,
we have
yeah,
everything that we need, and it's just really learning, like you said, asking the right questions, or just knowing, what questions to ask, so that you can better yourself, you can educate yourself, and you can become more resourceful. So I love that.
yes, exactly. You know, we have everything we need, and the thing is that when a woman, when we support each other, is even more powerful. You know,
Yeah.
it's very, very powerful when we can support one another because, we don't have the answers to everything, but we know that we can connect with persons that might be, very well vast in a particular area. We can learn a lot when we lean upon our sisters. You know, you
Yeah.
can lean on your sister and ask them for assistance, or to give them, let them explain something to you. I love the fact that we are not pouring as well from an empty cup. You know, we can't
Yeah.
pour from an empty cup. So it's about
Yeah.
self care, it's about taking care of yourself. Because once you take care of you, once you make sure that the foundation is firm and it's set, then you can be a better version of you in the world. It
Yeah.
means you can flow, out of you will flow wealth, out of you will flow different types of knowledge and wisdom, and even tools and resources to help other people. And I just want that, that women just use their voices a lot more, because we've been silenced for so long. Sometimes we walk into a room and we feel like we're silenced. We can't really express
Yeah.
the way we want to, because we don't know how to be received. But I want us to get to a point where we're just bold and courageous in every single thing that we do. It's like to step up and really
Yeah.
actually show the world, like, hey, I have something to offer. Hey, yes, there's something great within me that I can share with someone else that they can also benefit from. Hey, I am my sister's keeper. That's
Yeah.
indeed what it is. We all have our own unique strengths and our own unique abilities, and it's just about partnering with other persons like we have today, where we've partnered together to be able to kind of, like, give of ourselves and give of ourselves freely.
Yeah.
So I
No,
just,
I so totally agree with you, and that's why I love to do this stuff, because again, it's so important to, because we live in a very digital world, right?
yes,
And so
yes,
it's more okay, you meet those, you make those connections, but how do you really get to know somebody on a better level, or how do you really know, oh, well, Marcia is offering this, and then maybe Joanne or Anna, so just knowing, just learning from each other, and knowing that this person offers this person offers this, it helps, because again, it's a whole package, right? It's not
yes,
just one thing, like you said. I mean, we have to really better ourselves in a lot of different arenas, right? It's not just one thing or another thing. So I really love that. So let me ask you this. So in regards to your business, so basically, so you coach. I know that you're coming to us from the beautiful island of Barbados. I'm so jealous.
yes. Yes, I'm from the beautiful island of Barbados. Very small island. We have about 280,000 people, roughly, in Barbados, and we are
Oh, wow.
166 square miles. Very small on the dot, but we do have some powerful people that live here. I call it the island in the sun. If you want sun, sea, sand, and good people, definitely come to Barbados.
Oh my God, it sounds amazing. I mean, I'm in Florida, so we also have sun, but it's just like, I always envision myself like sitting on an island just staring at the beach all day.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll be able to do anything, but oh my God. So, but yeah,
it's
so
lovely.
so what I wanted to ask you is so I know, like I said, so you said, you're helping with the coaching and stuff. So do you coach? I know that you coach I guess locally, you're the ladies in your community, right? But then also do you coach, digitally or online and stuff? And and if somebody, I guess, wanted to get coached by you, I guess, they can reach out to you, correct?
Yes. When I started my business, to be honest, I always started my business with a global mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
I never only looked internally, like in my country. So I do coach. Actually, most of my clients are from outside of Barbados.
Okay.
So I do it. Yes, I do have avenues where I do online coaching. So I started off with one-on-one coaching, but now I'm going to be offering some programs that will be group based, group coaching. And I also do financial wellness workshops for corporations as well. So I
Okay.
branched out into that area recently where I offer financial wellness programs because I realized that the employee level, a lot of persons were definitely impacted by COVID. And aim is to
Yeah.
help organizations they kind of teach their employees how to manage their money, how to kind of like manage money in a crisis in particular, so that at
Yeah.
least when they go to their jobs, like thinking of worrying about money or worrying about how things will get handled, be one of the least things on their plate to worry about, and that when they show
Yeah.
up at their job, they're definitely showing up 100% without studying about what's happening in the home or what's happening in their finances. So that is why I would have created some workshops tailored to the corporate professionals in Barbados in particular. But
Yeah.
I do offer online coaching, one-on-one coaching. But as I said, I have pivoted a bit to group coaching, so that I'm able
Mhm.
to be able to impact many lives at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's great. And I mean, we'll link everything at the end so that if somebody
Yes,
wants to reach out
absolutely.
to you, that's great. And that's great that you pivoted into like more also the employee sector, because it's so true. A lot of businesses closed last year. I don't know
Yes,
how it is in Barbados now, but over here, the economy has sort of, regained a little bit again because we've been, open, and businesses have been open basically the whole year. And I know, we are very tourist driven over here in Florida. So
we are too. We are as
yeah, so
well.
basically, so we do have, a lot of, tourists coming in and stuff like that. But
Yes.
yeah, but in the beginning, it was just, a lot of employees, a lot of businesses closed, and then, they started reopening. So yeah, so I'm imagining that a lot of employees needed just help, especially because now you're basically cut out of work or money, and then then especially when it comes to financial education, it is very
Yes.
important. What do you find is your main clients? Is it I mean, is it women or is it men, or like what age group do you?
So, so I cater to many. I cater to women. I
Hmm.
realize that even if men engage in my posts, you don't really find men hardly ever. You don't necessarily find a man coming to you, but most of my clients are women, and
Okay.
I deal with women between the age group. I look at the millennial, I guess, between 25 to 35. Those are
Uh-huh.
the type. That is the age range I find of the clients that have approached me. That is the age range that they fall into. There are persons that might be in retirement age, but I find that it's not necessary for your services, but might be just to kind of like run something by you, get some information. But between the 25 to 35 age range, I've found that women in that age range have definitely sought
Yeah.
my assistance.
Okay. Is it so do you basically, I know besides budgeting, I guess, is it just more about, being aware of finances, and so you don't help with like retirement,
So
which is.
my business is more so the my program, a new program I'm actually offering. I haven't put it out there yet because it's going to be being launched at the end of the month. But my
Okay.
new group offering is called the Secrets of a Debt Free Woman,
Okay.
and that is the name of the program. And ideally, what it will be doing, we were going to be walking through things really from your money mindset I'm going to be looking, I'm basically going to be showing you how to kind of walk the path of financial freedom. That will entail, we're going to start with mindset, then we're going to go into managing your money, which is like a money audit, which is the budgeting, seeing where you're
Okay.
at there. For those that have debt, we will definitely go through like debt repayment strategies, etc. And then look into how can we prepare for the future, how we can be prepared for expected and unexpected income, and that will be dealt with under like savings. But as it relates to retirement and investing, I'm not going to be heavily focused on that in this first part of
Yeah.
my program. That will more likely come. I have another program that's going to be coming after this, which is more so on legacy. And
Okay.
legacy, they will be dealing with particularly with creating online businesses.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so
That's
right now
awesome.
my container is just being able to show women how you can get to a life of debt freedom, how you can get to a life of financial freedom and time freedom as well, and be able to have some options presented to you, because a lot of persons literally feel if their hands are tied with what they want to do. So I'm going to kind of walk you through a journey, but definitely it's going to start with the mindset. So we're going to have
Yeah.
discussions surrounding that as it relates to what our belief system is. Once that is dealt with at the foundational level, then we will look at the practical side, which is to kind of get persons managing the money the way they should be within 30 days, because it can happen within 30 days.
Yeah.
Women just have to be able to make a decision to show up, because once you show up for you, then you will get the result that you want.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And it's so true. It's so funny that you're talking about the mindset, because same thing. I'm actually doing a 3-day mindset challenge.
Oh, great.
Because I mean, it's just because I find, when I coach also clients, it's always the same things that come up, right? So it's always, limiting. I know in your, sector, I guess it's more, around money, which is also
Yeah.
big, but with me, it's more about limiting beliefs, or can I do this? Can I not do this? Or then it's just this whole clutter, the confusion, the not sure, like, well, I don't know if it's so much. And then it's like, well, but I'm just, I'm just an employee, or I'm just a mom, but I've never done that.
Right.
So, so we're tackling more like those maybe broader or general, imposter syndromes and things like
Yeah.
that. Not so much as money, limiting beliefs, because I haven't, that's not my specialty, so I don't, deal with that. But I love that, because it's so true. And even what you said in the beginning, that we're brought up, like you said, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, you
Yeah.
have to work hard for your money, or
Yeah.
different stuff. And it's so true, because I was never taught as far as money management as well, right? And it's
Mhm.
not, it's not that, it's not that it's just more of, I guess, because also, our parents don't know, we're never taught either. So it's just, it just basically, it moves on from one generation to the next.
To the
And same
next.
thing,
Yeah.
and now with my kids, I'm trying to teach them, okay, well, okay, yes, this is money, this is what it is, but okay, yes, well, what can you do to earn money, or what can you do, also, you have to honor money. It's not just that,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
you're gonna basically just throw everything around, and oh, okay, well, because I get money from, let's say, for birthdays or whatnot, now I can just go buy all the toys. And I'm like, well, maybe let's just not buy toys, because toys, you're gonna play with them for a few weeks, and then you're not gonna want them, so then you will have lost all the money. So maybe what can we use the money to do, to maybe, so to maybe, hey, didn't you want to go on a vacation? Well, then maybe let's put it towards a vacation, let's save it towards that, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yes.
trying to teach them young, so that basically maybe that, when they grow up, they're just they don't have those, money blockages, I guess, that you deal with, right? Let me ask you this,
You're on
like,
the right
what
track.
are, I'm sorry.
You're on the right track. Definitely. You're on the
Yeah.
right track.
What do you, I guess, is there anything that you can maybe suggest to somebody, let's say somebody that's really struggling with money blocks, right? Because that's a big hurdle, and that's a big, I guess, I don't know if I want to call it trauma, but it's a big hurdle that a lot of people deal with, right?
Yes.
Because also there's the whole thing of, well, money is evil, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of, those things with that. So what would you suggest, or what would you maybe give some tips to somebody that's really struggling with that, that hey, they have those dreams of achieving more, but then they feel guilty because, well, but I don't want to do it for the money, but it's, that whole constant inner battle struggle. Like, what would you suggest maybe to somebody that somebody could maybe do?
So three things that I would tell that person that goes through that scenario is to one affirm do is to one affirm yourself. So what do we mean by that? We've heard about positive affirmations, right? But we're not just
Mhm.
saying the affirmations, we're actually embodying it. So we're not saying it in our minds, but we're looking, whether you stand in the mirror, wherever you want to be in a quiet space, you say that I am wealthy, I am resourceful. You start to affirm yourself, repeat it. The more that you repeat it, the more that you're able to hear it, the more that you begin to embody it. So repeat, do affirmations continually,
Mhm.
because when you decree a thing, it will be established, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I would tell you to do as well is to write a letter to money. You might say, what? Yes, write a
Yeah.
letter to money. When you actually sit down and write a letter to money, you're able to identify the moments in your life where money would have either made you uncomfortable, where money would have made you sad, where money would have made you happy. Just write a letter to money. Actually indicate to that money, because it's a subject, like how it would have treated you and how you felt while you were handling it. Now, if there are any areas in there that you, because what happens in this exercise is that you're able to pick out events, things that happen in your past, things that happen in your childhood that you would have not remembered unless you really sat down and had a quiet moment to write it out. You will realize, okay, well, because of this event in that happened in my life, this triggered my response in my adulthood. There are a lot
Yeah.
of things that happen in our childhood. There are a lot of things that persons would have spoken to you or spoken over you when you were younger, or even through your life. That you are literally still wearing the best. You're literally still wearing that cape.
Yeah.
So when you actually write a letter to money, you are being vulnerable. You're writing from a raw place. You're writing every single emotion to money. Once you've done that, it's going to allow to see what are the patterns, what are the cycles, what are the triggers in your life, and you're able then to do a new action. The third thing it will tell you to do as well too is to forgive yourself. If there are some things you would have done in your life that you have not forgiven yourself for, and that you keep repeating it to yourself, I want to write on a piece of paper, I forgive myself for X. I forgive myself for Y. Continue to write it until you can't remember anymore, but write it all down. When you're done, take that piece of paper and tear it in half and throw it away. You've released the burden. So those are some three things that you could apply right
That's
now that will
awesome.
help you with your money blocks.
No, that's awesome. And that's great. I never heard of the whole thing of writing a letter to money. I've
Yes.
heard of, I'm sorry, my dog is like so loud. I've heard about, writing letters, and I've gave, I've actually coached with that as well as, different clients, write a letter maybe, to, let's say, a spouse or somebody that hurt you, or a business partner, somebody,
Yes.
but to money, I've never thought of that, but that's a good one, really. Because I remember, like, where I struggled a lot with this whole thing of, money, whenever, because once you basically, once you start a business, right? And in the beginning, of course, you're struggling, the business is struggling, but then at
Yes.
one point, if you just, keep working and, putting yourself out there, and just basically educating yourself, also, like, also hiring coaches and just really bettering yourself, the business starts taking off, right? And
Right.
then I remember, when my business, my previous business, started taking off, I felt so weird, because, then all of a sudden you go from making a certain amount of money to a lot more, and it's just more than maybe all your friends are making and stuff.
Right.
And then it's just the conversations become awkward, because it's like, well, you don't want us to be seen as this, well, okay, well, you're rich or whatever, you know what
So
I
you're
mean? And
showing
it's like,
off.
then you hear all this stuff, and then it's like, well, I'm not
Mhm.
really rich, you know what I mean? It just, and then it's like this whole inner struggle of, well, well, you guys are going on vacation. I'm the one that's just, I don't go on vacations, I work, you know what I mean? And then,
Right.
so it's like, so it's like this whole inner battle, and I had to work like a lot through that, because it was affecting me a lot. And then, it really works, I mean, affects also then your work ethic, because then you're feeling guilty. Well, maybe I shouldn't be making all this money, and then maybe, well, maybe
Yes.
I don't deserve it, or maybe like, well, and so it's really yeah. So I really appreciate the work that you do, because it's real. I mean, those struggles are real, and they, and once you, I guess, again, when you change, like I say, income levels, right? Really, your mind really
Yep.
starts playing tricks on you. And then, like you said in the beginning, also, with your journey, friends and family don't understand. They, the language becomes foreign to them, and now
Yes.
they think, well, because you're all this and all that, but and so it's very, very, it's really crucial, the work that you do, because a lot of individuals struggle with that. I mean, I know I personally struggle with that a lot, and I had to seek out different help and coaches and stuff like that, because it was just really getting to a point where it was just affecting me, and then my relationships and everything else.
Yeah. But when you mentioned it was so important as well too about even the success with money, because you start to make your income bracket changes, then you start to question, okay, do I deserve this amount of money? But I want to know that we work hard. You
Yeah,
work hard, and because of your serving and you're giving value, money is just the reward for what you're actually
yeah,
doing. It's just and the thing is, I look at it as this as well, is that I'm serving in a capacity, I'm giving of my all, I'm providing value. Money is just the receipt, I'm receiving money because of that. But because I do make this money, I can do better things. I can show up differently in the world. I'm able to see issues and be able to do something about it, because you are a change agent. You are
yeah,
you are ideally a change agent. And when we see money as it is, once money does not affect your mood, meaning, because they always say this as well, when a person does not have money, you know who they are. When a
yeah,
person does have money, when a person gets money, you know who they are. But I want that regardless of whether or not, wherever we are on the scale, that our heart on the person, and our humility is still intact, that we don't allow our mind to change us, but we remain humble through it
yeah,
all. You know what I mean? Just remain humble. But
yeah,
however, don't be afraid to actually show the goodness and to enjoy what you've worked hard to do. Because if I work hard for my money and I'm able to splurge or to treat myself, I shouldn't feel guilty for that. I
yeah. No,
shouldn't. And the people that I surround myself with shouldn't feel away because I want to enjoy what I work hard for either. So, you want to come to a place mentally that it is okay for you to enjoy what you work hard to do.
yeah.
It's,
No,
it's
it's so
okay.
true. It's so
Yeah.
true. And it's so true. And it's, it's, because like I said, like, with what, everything that you were saying is so true. And, and I also remind myself sometimes, because that's how I think also, again, basically, if I, the more value I bring, of course, that's, it resembles, your income, right? And was
Yeah.
it Jim Rohn? I think, I don't remember who actually, which one of the, I think maybe it was Jim Rohn that said it. I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Rohn. Maybe it was Jim Rohn or one
No,
of the
I'm familiar
motivational
with it.
speakers. I have to look
I
it
like
up.
it too.
But I've always heard that, and it's like, and it never made sense. And then then one day it did make sense to me, and it's like, and it's so true. And now sometimes I think of, again, and I explained that also to some of my clients, that, hey, it's not about, this person makes this or this person makes that. It's just because, let's say the job is valued as this, because this is the
Yeah.
value that this job brings, but that has nothing to do with the person. It's just, it's just a commodity,
Exactly.
basically. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
so no, I love that. I really love, basically this conversation. Because it's so important, because it is, and especially for women, I just really wish that more women would have those conversations, because sometimes,
Yeah.
as women, we do feel uncomfortable speaking about that stuff, and it's just very
Yes. Yes.
important, because I think if more women would have those conversations, then we would be able to help each other and impact each other, like you said. Because yes, making an impact is really, what we're great at. So, and especially
Yeah.
when we're collaborating. Yeah. Yeah, no, awesome. So yeah, so I wanted to, I guess, just sort of recap. So let me, I guess, tell us a little bit again about your course, when it's launching, or whatever you have going on right now. And then again, we'll link everything into the video comments, basically, after the video post. And then, anybody can join you and stuff like that, and, reach out to you. But I guess just let us know again, I guess, what you have going on, because I know you said you have your course launching at the end of the month, which is very exciting, and I think a lot of individuals should take advantage of it, because it's definitely gonna teach a lot of good things. So
Thank you so much. Yeah, so on May the 30th, at 3 p.m., I have a master class that is going to be happening. It is called the Confidence Code Master Class. I will be teaching on three different areas: the foundation of self confidence, the three pillars of authenticity and wealth redefined for the confident woman. And the bonus, I would have created a workbook called the Confident Woman Workbook, and that will be accessible for those that register. So that's happening on May the 30th at 3 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. And I will definitely put all the links in the comment section on this at the end of this video. And then through that as well, I will be launching my 6-week group coaching program, which is called The Secrets of a Debt-Free Woman. And I am so excited about this. I've been preparing for it for so long, and it is a message that I embody, because I'm technically living. I'm living the life. I'm a walking testimony of what it means to live a debt-free journey, because I came out of debt in 2019, March 2019, and I have never went back into debt since then. And everything that I have been able to do has allowed me to be financially free, has allowed me to have time freedom, has allowed me to show up confidently and to share my voice with the world. So I look forward to every single lady that will join these 2 sessions, that will join first the master class, and that will join me in my 6-week group coaching program. So thank you so much, Patricia, for giving me your platform to be able to share the things that I have coming up. For those that will want to find me online, my business name is A Purpose Life. I have a Facebook page and also an Instagram business page. But then my own personal profile is Marcia Armstrong. I'm available on all platforms, literally. You can find me online for those that will want to connect. So again, thank you, Patricia, for the opportunity to be able to, as you mentioned here, to show up confidently, to help ladies show up confidently on their debt-free journey. It has been indeed an honor and a privilege.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, because it's like I said, I think your topic is so important, especially for us ladies.
Thank you.
And I really loved, chatting with you. And I think what you have to offer is really something amazing, and everybody should really take advantage of it. So, like I said, so we'll link everything in the bottom. And yeah, thank you so much. And I look forward to learning more from you. And feel free to also, like, share in the group and stuff, and just educate and yeah, and collaborate. So, and I guess continue enjoying the beautiful island of Barbados. I hope that whenever we go, maybe one day on vacation there, then we can connect. I'd love to meet you in person. Or if you
That
ever come to Florida,
definitely.
let me know, because I know a lot of people from the Caribbean, they come to Florida. So
Yes,
I'd love to connect
yes.
with you
I've
in
been to
person.
Florida. I think I went to Tampa Bay. I think it is. That's the name. I went to
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. I stayed in that region when I
Oh,
came.
okay. Yeah, I'm in South Florida by like Miami. So
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll be connecting, I guess, more in the group. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.